What are the best vacuums for pet hair in 2023?
We are testing a variety of vacuums at different price points to find out the best ones.
We selected the top 5 vacuums that were the best overall performers for pet hair on carpet and hardwood floors.
And for this test, we added dog hair to our repertoire because a dog might be a man's best friend, but the hair sure isn't.
We included both corded and cordless because we think the best vacuum is the one you use the most frequently.
We purchased all the vacuums used in this test, and so this video is not sponsored.
And we're broke.
So please click on our Amazon affiliate links down below. Now we think these are some of the best vacuums that you can buy for the money, but this is the first time we actually put them head to head in our test. And you know what? There's some surprises involved. Our finalists all have anti-tangle brush rolls, but some are better than others. We found on real pet hair, they are pretty effective, but on our rave party hair that's about 6 inches, they tend to get wrapped around the head. But as you move up in price, it is easier to clean the brush roll. For example, the Dyson and the Shark Apex allow you easy access to the head, so you can get that tangled hair off. The Kenmore doesn't offer that, but it is at an entry-level price. With that in mind, let's start the vacuum party. First up, the Kenmore DU5080.
It's an excellent value and performer. It's corded, but it has a pet hair tool and a very effective brush roll on carpet and hardwood. The canister is big enough, and the HEPA filter is effective at capturing dust down to 0.3 microns. We'll talk about that soon. But there's one thing no one ever talks about. If you want to keep the performance of your bagless vacuum, you need to clean the filter at least once a month. None of you will do it, but it's true.
No way. Next up is the Shark Rotator NV752. So it is our corded pick at a mid price point, but because it's corded, it's about 15 pounds, but it is very effective on pet hair. It has lift-away technology, making it easier to use on stairs and under beds, which somewhat offsets the weight penalties. And all Sharks come with a sealed canister and a HEPA filter to trap allergens and tiny particles inside the canister. The head has a single brush roll, and it also has an air-powered pet tool.
Also at a mid price point is the Shark Rocket Pet Plus. Now for this video, we are actually using the previous version, the Shark Rocket Pet Pro, but they're exactly the same as far as spec goes. The only difference is that the Pet Plus has this cool feature called Multiflex, which allows you to do the limbo while vacuuming. Now it has a 40-minute runtime and a very good brush roll that is also anti-tangle. It comes equipped with LED headlights and has good suction for cordless at around 14 kilopascals.
Next up is the Shark Apex AZ1002. It's our pick for a corded vac and one of our overall favorites at a higher price point. It has a dual brush roll. It does have lift-away technology also, which makes it easier to get under furniture and on stairs. And the suction is really powerful. It's got good airflow, and it has a variety of attachments, and is actually pretty effective on both hardwood and on carpets.
So at our top price point, we chose the Dyson V11, not because we are Dyson devotees. No, it's truly, honestly, one of the best vacuums we have ever used, and our top cordless pick for sure. It has an anti-tangle brush roll that works really well with these combs. It'll go for up to an hour on a single charge, which is better than most, and the battery is removable.
Devotee is a big word. I like the way you use that.
Thank you. Now the Dyson has a unique head design that's effective on carpet and hardwood floors. You can really feel the suction with this one. It also has a powered pet tool that you can attach to the body, making it easy to use.
Now let's get to the pickup tests. All these vacuums were very effective on hard surfaces and effectively picked up 100% we put down. Then we moved to carpet, where we put 40 grams of sand on the carpet. We vacuumed it up and measured how much each vacuum was able to retrieve. The Kenmore, which is the least expensive, picked up 93% of the sand, the Shark Apex 98, and the Dyson V11 picked up 100%. I thought the Shark would do a little bit better, but perhaps it's something to do with the brush roll design. Anyway, these are all pretty effective at picking up sand from carpet. We did grind it in a little bit, so that might have had something to do with the slightly lower than expected score for the Shark Apex. Then we tested airflow at the wand. Now all of the plug-in vacuums exceeded our meter, which is 45 meters per second. That means over 100 miles an hour. No big surprise there. And the two cordless we tested at both high and low settings. The Shark Rocket is less expensive. Low is 12.9 meters per second. High is 24. That's pretty solid. But the Dyson V11 on high was almost twice as powerful as the Shark Rocket. And even on low setting, it was 19.9 meters per second. So it is a very effective vacuum and basically the highest scoring cordless vacuum we've tested yet. Then we tested airflow at the head, where we taped up the head to a cardboard box. Now, it's not possible to get a perfect seal on the Shark Apex because it has an open head design, so it only scored 7.5 meters per second of airflow there, whereas the Canmore and the Shark Rotator were definitely a little bit higher. The Shark Rotator scored the highest, 22.9. In testing for suction at the wand, the Shark Apex was definitely the best of all of them. However, it is a little bit difficult to get a perfect seal on some of these vacuums because the opening on the wand is sort of a square shape as opposed to round, which just makes it a little bit more difficult to test. However, they all scored pretty similarly. No big surprise, corded vacuums generally score very well on the suction test at the wand. The Shark Rocket Cordless does have a square-shaped wand, so it's a little bit difficult to test. We got 4.4 kilopascals in low, 12.5 in high. It's pretty good. But again, the Dyson V11 basically doubled it on the high setting. It's a very powerful cordless vacuum. In our testing, these are all pretty strong, pretty effective vacuums at their respective price points. I think they're all good buys. Now, if you have animals in your house, which is probably why you're watching this video, you definitely want to get a vacuum with HEPA filtration. And all of the vacuums in this test do have that. And you want something that has a sealed canister as well. So that means that all the particulate matter, all the allergens, all the tiny dust particles stay inside the vacuum. And so we tested this with our standard smoke test, and every one of these vacuums passed with no issue at all. Next, we tested effectiveness on pet hair with both the main head and also the pet tool that comes with each of these vacuums. They were all pretty effective at picking up different kinds of hair off of our carpet. However, some were more anti-tangle than others. The Kenmore DU5080 got a lot of pet hair stuck on the rollers. It was probably the worst in this test. However, it is the least expensive vacuum.
No bueno.
After we vacuumed up the hair, we did let each vacuum run for about 30 to 45 seconds just to give it a chance to clear out any kind of hair if it was anti-tangle. We used two different lengths of rave hair, roughly 6 inches and 14 inches. Again, the Kenmore did not do an effective job of keeping the hair out of the brush roll. Both 6-inch and 14-inch hairs tangled up. The Shark Apex was a little bit of a surprise because it is so effective at picking up hair off of everything. However, in our pet hair test, the pet hair got pretty nicely wrapped around the brush roll. The saving grace, though, it is very easy to take the cover off of the head and makes it much easier to clean out the hair from the rollers. The 6-inch rave hair did not get tangled at all.
No problem with 6-inch rave hair.
And it was surprisingly effective on our 14-inch rave hair, one of the best vacuums we've actually tested. The Shark Rocket was not foiled by pet hair one little bit. It did an excellent job of keeping it off the rollers. It had no problem with the 6-inch rave hair.
Nice.
And was only slightly foiled by the super long rave hair. All these vacuums have pet hair tools, so we tested them on our kitty condos. Some were fairly anti-tangle and some weren't. The best one of the entire lot was the Dyson V11 with its special screw roll anti-tangle head. It did an amazing job on pet hair and there was no tangles at all. Both Sharks have a similar pet hair tool that is powered by air. It actually has a little strip on the front and the rear to intentionally catch pet hair, so you do need to clean it off every now and then, and both of those do tend to get a little bit of hair on the rollers. The Shark Rocket was the only one without a rotating head, and it did about as well as you would expect for a non-rotating head pet hair tool. If you find yourself constantly getting cat hair or dog hair off of furniture, I highly recommend that you get a vacuum with a pet hair tool. And in this case, the Dyson V11 is the clear winner. I've been using all of these vacuums for some time in my household, and they all seem to have pretty good build quality. And that's something important to look for also in a vacuum cleaner. You want to make sure that it's not going to fall apart right away. We don't really do long-term testing in any sort of formalized manner, but all these vacuums seem to be pretty well constructed in my opinion. So I pick a vacuum based upon your situation, your living environment, and your budget. If you live in a large house with hardwood and not a lot of carpet, I think probably a cordless is going to be a pretty good pick. Personally, I really do like the Dyson V11. It is my vacuum that I use every day because it's super light and it does a great job. But what if you have a lot of carpet?
Or a lot of kids or a lot of pets? You may need something a little more heavy duty, something like the Shark Rotator, Kenmore, or the Apex. A corded vacuum is gonna have a lot more suction and airflow just because it doesn't have that battery for power supply.
Now, if you're looking to save money on a cordless vacuum, the Shark Rocket is a really good value because it is about half the price of the Dyson. It is also anti-tangle and it does a great job on hardwood and on carpet.
And if our stats are correct, which they are, your happiness will increase 98.7% this weekend if you subscribe right now and hit that bell.
Thanks for nerding out with us. See you next time.